For joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, Maine's highest court is declining to weigh in on former President Trump's ballot status, keeping intact a lower court judge's decision that the U.S. Supreme Court must first rule on a similar case in Colorado. Democrat
Shannon Bellows concluded last month that Trump didn't meet ballot qualifications under the insurrection clause in the U.S. Constitution, but a state judge put that decision on hold pending the U.S. Supreme Court's decision in the Colorado case. Bellows appealed that lower court ruling and asked the Maine Supreme Judicial Court to examine the case. With her appeal being dismissed, Bellows must await the outcome before withdrawing, modifying, or upholding her original decision to keep Trump off the ballot. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court is hearing arguments on the Colorado case on February 8th.
All right, and we have much more local news coming up in just a couple minutes. Stay with us.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in commercial, medical, and residential design build construction, as well as building maintenance and renovations. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and a project manager superintendent. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, competitive pay, and a family-oriented environment. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 848-7486.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Great Scott! This is Green Bay 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait. It's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
Stakes are so high.
I have reached a decision. The winner at Hell's Kitchen is...
Hell's Kitchen season finale, Thursday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Hi there, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about an upcoming opportunity for folks to attend a local R&B dance workshop. Plus our Pet of the Week from Bangor Humane Society, that's always a surprise. And we'll hear about the Small Business Awards presented by the Governor. These stories plus that messy forecast coming up on Good Morning Maine.
2 weeks removed from a pair of storms that hit Maine's coastline hard, one road in Mount Desert Island is still closed while officials continue their cleanup efforts.
Our Doug Banks takes us there.
If you've seen the sign that says Seawall Road closed on your drive through Southwest Harbor, this is why. On Tuesday, crews removed debris Mother Nature left behind as the road remains washed out, exposing its foundation. Battered fences hang to their posts.
So the storm surge came over and it was as high as within 6 inches of the edge of my deck, being directly on it, and we came through it basically unscathed. And then I look at, some of these other videos that I'm seeing from across the state, and it's absolutely crazy and tragic, and I feel terrible for them.
Passed over the broken pavement into a piece of Acadia National Park, where the shoreline has reclaimed part of 102A that normally leads travelers to Bass Harbor Headlight.
It's such an incredible location, but I've never seen anything like this.
Seawall Road may be broken, but the people here are not.
The people who live here probably love it more every day because they're appreciative.
In Seawall Village, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine's congressional delegation is trying to streamline the federal response to 2 January storms. They wrote a letter to the Federal Emergency Management Agency asking that they treat them as a single disaster event for the purposes of damage assessment and reporting. In the letter, the delegation said, quote, "The damages are still being assessed, but they appear to be record-setting with catastrophic damage to Maine's coastline and economy, including private property, public infrastructure, and working waterfronts. Treating the 2 storms as a single event reduces the administrative burden on municipalities up and down the coast, MEMA and FEMA, by allowing assessments to be completed simultaneously with only one set of paperwork," end quote. The delegation also wrote a letter to the president in support of Governor Mills' request for a major disaster declaration for the December storm damage.
A driver involved in a crash in Alton has been indicted by the Penobscot County grand jury. Penobscot County Sheriff Troy Morton says a deputy spotted 42-year-old Jonathan Mitchell driving on Route 16 back in November, and when the deputy ran the plates, he discovered Mitchell had 2 outstanding warrants. Mitchell allegedly fled when the deputy activated the lights on his cruiser. Other deputies in the area deployed spike strips, and Sheriff Morton says Mitchell's vehicle ran over those spike strips and he overcorrected and the vehicle rolled over as it went into an embankment. It also hit a utility pole with a transformer. Mitchell and his passenger were taken to the hospital with injuries. He was officially arrested after being discharged from the hospital. The grand jury indicted him on a host of charges, including several drug charges, aggravated assault, eluding an officer, domestic violence, reckless conduct, and driving to endanger.
Lawmakers and cannabis industry officials debated whether labeling laws for certain recreational cannabis products are justified or if they're just causing unnecessary headaches for sellers. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard has more.
This bill would repeal a vital health and safety measure that this legislature included in the Cannabis Legalization Act after 2 years of deliberation and hard work by the Marijuana Legalization Implementation Committee.
Currently, every adult-use edible cannabis product in Maine is required to be stamped with a universal symbol to tell those looking at it that it contains THC. A bill sponsored by Representative David Boyer of Poland seeks to change that. Cannabis business owners say the requirements are expensive and unnecessary because they already include the symbol on child-proof packaging each edible product is packaged in.
We have spent $20,000 on molds with the symbol in each cavity, and we have been denied to bring our product to market, and that's why we're here.
John Hubick, the director of the Maine Office of Cannabis Policy, says the requirement should stay because it's a public health issue.
The risk of accidental ingestion of an adult-use cannabis gummy or hard candy is much greater than the inconvenience experienced by a cannabis product manufacturer who needs to reformulate their product recipe or buy new molds or edible food stamps.
Supporters argued the symbol doesn't prevent younger children who can't read or don't understand the symbol from accidentally consuming cannabis products, and that parents should be more careful with leaving cannabis products around children.
I think that's really where we're all at, right? We don't need the Office of Cannabis Policy to parent our children. I think that we are more than capable with the symbol on the bag and the package saying that it contains THC, that is more than sufficient to provide the market.
Hubick says the markings aren't warnings for younger children. They're meant for older children and adults who understand their meaning to prevent accidental ingestion of cannabis products. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, a brewer business was among those honored at the Blaine House today. Every year, the Governor's Award in Business Excellence is given to Maine businesses that have a high level of commitment to their community, their employees, and demonstrate exemplary performance in manufacturing or service professions. Compotech is a defense technology company based in Brewer. They were honored with the award for their innovation of carbon-based portable structures for service members.
We're extremely honored to have received this award. We started the company with just 2 people working out of a kitchen in 2011, and now we're on the Inc. 5000 list for fastest growing companies, and we've been awarded this prestigious award by the governor. So we really feel like we're making it and going in the right direction to grow into the company that we want to be.
Other businesses honored include Elmet Technologies in Lewiston, Maine Eco Homes in Bridgeton, and Timber HP in Madison.
Members of the Maine State Police were in Patton to address resident safety concerns and offer ways to better protect their homes and families. Our Matthew Jurancic has more.
It's just a great opportunity for our residents if they come away with one tip on how to stay safe in their town and home, then this opportunity is well worth it.
Wednesday's presentation comes after several residents brought up concerns about increased drug activity and related crimes.
With our residents expressing a concern, it's something we wanted to provide a community outreach to them.
Lieutenant Harris is able to tackle most residents' concerns. He recommended them getting outdoor cameras and being a nosy neighbor when they see something they feel isn't quite right. He says it's these types of conversations that allow him to find out what communities like Patton need help with most.
Meetings like this come up because they have general concerns about the status of their community, and they want some assurances that we're here to provide. And I'm here to say that every small community in Aroostook County, Penobscot, it doesn't matter. If it's in the state of Maine, it's a community we serve Rural Patrol, and we will continue as long as we can.
While most questions were addressed, some residents have lingering concerns.
What are we going to do about these people that are here breaking the law? If the jails are full and they can't keep them in jail, what are we going to do about it?
Lieutenant Harris says the recipe to making towns and cities safe starts with getting involved.
Keep doing this. Keep being involved. The people always ask me, what's the magic thing that can solve crime in my neighborhood? The magic thing is this right here. Be a help to us because we need the community just as much as they need us.
In Patton, Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
At the Northern Light Cancer Care Center in Brewer, radiation specialists treat roughly 100 patients a day. However, they say treatment is becoming much more efficient thanks to some new world-class technology. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
It's very exciting for all of us to have this kind of world-class technology here.
Healthcare professionals at the Northern Light Cancer Care Center in Brewer say the need for efficient cancer treatment is more important than ever.
We have a high incidence of cancer, unfortunately, in the state of Maine and throughout the country, and that's expected to continue to rise.
However, the addition of a new state-of-the-art linear accelerator is already changing lives.
A linear accelerator is basically a high-powered X-ray machine.
The device uses sub-millimeter measurements, the tiniest in the industry, to target the cancer cells in the body.
It's supposed to kill the bad cells while still sparing the healthy cells. That way we can get directed, targeted treatments right where we want to and kind of save all the other tissue.
The machine treats all cancer types, and radiation therapists say it also helps mitigate any long-term impacts by using lower doses of radiation.
Patients spend less time on the treatment couch. It's better for them. They're often in pain or other discomfort, and they have to hold still.
They say the enhanced features will make treatment faster and safer for patients.
It's good for us, it's good for the patients, and that's what we're here for. So,
in Brewer, Grace Blanchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
As the state continues to struggle with a bus driver shortage, there's a bonus boost for drivers who sign up in one Maine school district. RSU 21, which covers Kennebunk, Kennebunkport, and Arundel, is increasing its sign-on bonus from $5,000 to $6,000. Drivers hired with a commercial driver's license or after they get their CDL will get a $1,000 bonus on the day they're hired, a $2,000 bonus after a year on the road, and then a $3,000 bonus after 2 years on the road.
A training program in place. I think that the $6,000 signing bonus will maybe get their attention, allow them to come in, see this is a great opportunity, great job, a great place to be, great way to help the community, and just overall fun place to work.
Base pay ranges from about $20 to $25 an hour based on experience. Drivers also get 11 paid holidays. If winter weather's got you feeling down, you're not alone. Experts say more people are likely to experience depression due to seasonal changes. Our David Ledford has more from a University of Maine expert about what you can do.
We who live up in the north do tend to struggle with seasonal depression.
Winter in Maine means less sunlight, shorter days, and colder weather. And director of the University of Maine Counseling Center, Angela Felicia, says all of that can have an impact on your mental well-being.
This really is that time of year where people can feel down, depressed, blue.
With school back in session for the new semester, more students are seeking help.
We've seen an uptick. We definitely are seeing students in need, more so than what we would typically see for sort of the start of a semester, say in September.
I've gone through some moments where I've been like, yeah, this is kind of tough, or, you know, things are getting a little hard. So it's good to go talk to people like that.
Everyone does seem to get more depressed and down because it's darker and it's cold. You can't go outside as much.
Felicia says there are some warning signs to watch out for when it comes to seasonal depression.
Appetite changes, sleep disturbance, lack of energy. You just kind of feel blah.
If you do experience seasonal depression, counselors say it's important to reach out, and that means talking to family and friends in addition to seeking professional help.
Make sure that you increase your social connections. Talk to someone.
Felicia says seeking treatment, maintaining a good sleep schedule, and staying active can help to alleviate some of your symptoms.
Maybe get a gym membership, walk your dog around the neighborhood, do something that just sort of gets the blood flowing.
This counseling center is free for students. For information on available services for everyone, view this story on our website, foxbangor.com. In Orono, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A really timely story there. Some great tips, especially as we had kind of a gloomy winter day out there again today. So let's turn things over and take a first check of our forecast now.
Thank you so much, Beth. Our first weather this evening is brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage, a place to live, camp on your lot, building for your pets? Check them out at Winterport or at the Bangor Mall, and of course at winterportsheds.com. And get ready, folks. What's knocking on our door is a little bit of wintry precipitation, starting out of snow, then getting into a little bit of that wintry mix overnight tonight into those early morning hours tomorrow. Now, visibilities are very low in some spots, especially here in town. Look at this. 1.5 miles here in town. We got Millinocket at 2 miles right by the coast. Same story. All right, Rockland, not too bad there at 7 miles, but in general, though, lots of low visibilities in the region. High temperatures, another cold day out there. 22 degrees. That was our high temperature earlier today. 27 by Bar Harbor. Overnight tonight, though, we're going to continue to see those rising temperatures and that wintry mix in the region. Beth?
Alrighty, and coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, President Biden gets a big endorsement for his re-election campaign. We'll have details there. Plus, Senate and House Republicans who are riven by disagreement over the border negotiations, where things stand after the break.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Introducing the Chevy family of SUVs. Do more with tech. Do more with safety. Do more with style. The Chevy family of SUVs. There's one for everything you do. Current qualified non-GM lessees can get this Trailblazer for around $299 a month. Or get a $1,000 cash allowance when you purchase.
At Warren Financial, your financial goals are our priority. Your financial plan may appear to be all about savings and investing, but in reality, it's about much more. Your life, your family, and your legacy. That's why the financial planner you choose is so important.
Plan your future with Warren Financial. Visit warrenfinancialplan.com or call 573-1825.
Your trusted partner in wealth management.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground, Odland Road, Bangor.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Berg Activewear, Comfort Shoes and more, K&M Auto Repair, Paramount Paving, R&R Auto Body, and Northwoods Real Estate.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
President Biden closed out a three-day gathering of United Auto Workers in Washington. Union leadership wrapped up the event by giving Biden an official endorsement. Fox's Kevin Cork with that story.
The UAW is endorsing Joe Biden for President of the United States.
A major win for the Biden-Harris campaign. One of the largest unions in the nation, the United Auto Workers, now backing the president's re-election campaign.
I could not be more proud or more honored that you've chosen to stand with me.
The endorsement at the union convention in Washington comes just months after Biden made history by joining striking UAW members on the picket line, something no other U.S. president has ever done. UAW President Shawn Fain praising Biden for the move.
He heard the call, and he stood up, and he showed up.
And used his speech to take a swipe at former President Trump.
Donald Trump is a scab. Donald Trump is a billionaire, and that's who he represents.
President Biden's union win also comes a day after former President Donald Trump defeated former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley in the New Hampshire primary, strengthening his hold on Republican voters. Biden, who didn't appear on the ballot, scored a victory as a write-in candidate. And while Haley is yet to drop out of the GOP race, Biden is already laser-focused on his biggest rival.
I want to pick a line. Donald Trump went to a non-union shop and attacked you.
The next big union endorsement up for grabs is the Teamsters. Former President Trump will be meeting with them next week, and union leadership says they've also extended an invitation to President Biden. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Well, discussions about legislation to address the border crisis are said to be in the final stages, but there is increasing concern over whether Democrats actually want an agreement. Fox's Chad Pergram now from Capitol Hill.
Senate conservatives scorching a still concealed border security package.
This could cause as many problems as it solves.
We're asking the questions. We're not getting the answers.
One of the gentlemen under the interstate living in a refrigerator box knows more about it than I do.
Texas Republican Ted Cruz slammed Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell for even fostering border talks.
Sadly, Mitch McConnell's enemies are conservatives in the Senate and House Republican leadership.
House Speaker Mike Johnson opposes the Senate package. Cruz accused the Senate GOP brass of, quote, waging war on the Speaker, aligning instead with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Republican leadership is like Charlie Brown with Lucy and the football. And over again, they run for the football, and over again, Lucy Schumer pulls it away.
Democrats worry that the right might kill the bill, even before there is a bill.
Attempts to sabotage negotiations before they even finish must be shunned by the membership of this body.
Other Republicans are bewildered that their colleagues would undermine lead GOP border negotiator James Lankford of Oklahoma.
For anybody to think that James Lankford, from a ruby red state, with the subject matter expertise that he has on the border, is going to do something soft, it is beyond my comprehension.
Some Republicans say Democrats are desperate for a border pact.
I think President Biden has every reason in the world to want a deal here. It's a nightmare for him.
Other conservatives believe the border talks are just a facade to score money for Ukraine. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Safety concerns with aircrafts made by Boeing are growing. The company's top executive met with lawmakers on Capitol Hill today amid word that its own personnel may have been responsible for inadequately installing a piece that blew off a jet earlier this month. Fox's Dan Springer is in Seattle tonight.
Boeing's CEO appeared on Capitol Hill today and got a grilling, not only from members of Congress behind closed doors, but also the media. Everyone wants to know if the company's planes are safe for the public.
We believe in our airplanes. We field safe airplanes. Our people do. We have confidence in the safety of our airplanes. And that's what all of this is about. And we fully understand the gravity.
The news for Boeing just got much worse with the Seattle Times report today that it was Boeing that last installed the door plug on this 737 MAX 9 that blew off in mid-flight over Portland January 5th. Quoting a source and an alleged whistleblower, the paper says Boeing removed the door plug during final assembly, put it back on, then delivered the plane to Alaska Airlines with all 4 bolts that held the door in place missing. The report comes the same week United Airlines suggested it may back out of orders for the not yet certified 737 MAX 10. And the CEO of Alaska Airlines, Ben Minicucci, said on NBC News, "I am more than frustrated and disappointed. I am angry." The crisis prompted Boeing to hold a series of so-called quality stand-down meetings at its assembly plant in Renton, Washington. The first one will be held tomorrow. And according to the company, teammates will participate in hands-on learning, reflection, and collaboration to identify where quality and compliance can be improved. The NTSB will be returning to the assembly plant in Renton on Friday as part of its ongoing investigation. Boeing did not respond to the report that it alone is responsible and at fault for the door plug blowout, citing that NTSB probe. And the FAA has just approved Boeing's plan to inspect and maintain the grounded MAX 9s, and so once those inspections are done, the planes can return to service. In Seattle, Dan Springer, Fox News.
Israel's military is pushing deeper into the city of Han Yunis in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. It comes as international mediators continue to work on a potential hostage release deal. Fox's Alex Hogan now with that story.
Another day of heavy fighting in Gaza's second largest city, Han Yunis, located in the southern part of the Strip. Israel's military says it's aiming to destroy Hamas tunnel networks and infrastructure in the area using snipers, tanks, and aerial fire. Forces encircled the city on Tuesday and say that they plan to operate there for several days.
They are pursuing on the ground more targeted operations particularly against the leadership. They are relying less on airstrikes.
But aid groups say the fighting is taking place around the city's main hospital, and now patients and thousands of displaced people are unable to leave. Others who left the area are now searching for shelter further south.
I don't know where to go. I have no place to stay. I looked but did not find. The situation is very harsh.
As the fighting grinds on, officials here are pushing back on reports that they're close to securing another hostage release deal with Hamas. Israel has previously offered pauses in the fighting in exchange for hostages, and Israel insists a permanent ceasefire is off the table until the group is destroyed.
Israel will not give up on the destruction of Hamas, the return of all the hostages. In the past, there were pauses for humanitarian purposes. That agreement was breached by Hamas.
The Biden administration says a top advisor was in Qatar on Wednesday for hostage talks. In Tel Aviv, Israel, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, police in Missouri are still trying to figure out what happened in the backyard of a Kansas City Chiefs fan where 3 friends were found deceased.
And Maine Women's Hoops is gearing up for a familiar foe. They're both unbeaten in America East play. We'll be right back.
The Great American Race. The Daytona 500, February 18th. And don't miss the Clash, February 4th on Fox.
The Start Something New sales event is here at Quirk Jeep Ram. Save 10% off MSRP on select Ram trucks, or save 15% on Jeep Gladiator with over 15 available. It's your Jeep, it's your Ram. Find it at Quirk. Here's to the next 50 years.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Coastal Auto Parts, Color Concepts, Herman Meadow Golf Club, Howard Insurance, Katahdin Federal Credit Union, and Preble Oil Company.
Farming and cowboy life is definitely in my blood.
The one thing that's missing for me is somebody to share all this with.
So who thinks they've got what it takes to make it in the country?
It's risky because they're from the city.
I'm the fish out of water.
I hope they're ready to get dirty.
What are we getting ourselves into? I'm vegan.
How would that work for the beef market?
Yeah. Oh.
Elevate your new year with a new Hyundai at Quirk in Bangor. Drive home the 23 Santa Fe all-wheel drive for only $309 per month and enjoy 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. It's your Hyundai. Find it at Quirk. Here's to the next 50 years.
Missouri police are still trying to figure out what happened in the backyard of a Kansas City Chiefs fan where 3 friends were found dead after getting together on the night of the Chiefs-Chargers game on January 7th. Fox's C.P. Cotton has the story.
It's just a cover-up. Something's wrong with the picture.
Anger and frustration from the families of Ricky Johnson, David Harrington, and Clayton McGeeney. Earlier this month, all 3 men were hanging out at their friend Jordan Willis's home for football Sunday. 2 days later, all 3 were found dead in Willis's backyard, with Willis claiming he never noticed something was wrong.
Man up. Now tell us what happened. He knows. He has to know.
Willis's attorney says his client saw his friends leave through the front door and then went to bed.
He slept most of the morning on Monday. He got up, and at some point he relocated to the bedroom. He got up on Tuesday morning. He works from home. He had no reason to go in the backyard.
The victims' families and a 5th friend who'd also been inside the house that night aren't buying it.
I'm furious. Everybody's furious. Nobody believes this story.
I personally think they got drugged and were drug out the back door and put in the backyard. I want to know exactly what happened.
While police have not made any arrests and don't suspect foul play, families also accuse Willis and his attorney of changing their story. Willis's attorney, however, says his client did nothing wrong.
These are his buddies. Had he seen those guys out there, he would have gotten them help immediately.
Willis has since moved out of the house. Victim autopsy reports and toxicology results are still pending. In New York, C.B. Cotton, Fox News.
As the bitter cold of winter rages on, so do many of our heating units. But while we're trying to stay warm, health experts say these chilly months can increase the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. Fox's Kevin Uretsky takes a closer look at how you can help prevent injury and even death.
Known as the silent killer, carbon monoxide is the #1 accidental poisoning problem in the nation and the world, sending more than 100,000 Americans to the emergency room and killing at least 420 every year. That according to the CDC.
The gas is odorless, it's tasteless, and we have to rely on carbon monoxide detectors to pick that up.
Carbon monoxide can be found in the vapor produced by furnaces, gas stoves, vehicles, portable generators, and more.
It happens to be formed anytime there's a combustible reaction that's involving carbon material. If that happens to occur in an unvented area, it can lead to an increase in the amount of carbon monoxide.
Poisoning risks increase throughout the winter as home heaters and fireplaces run for longer, and while windows are closed to keep in the heat.
It can lead to a multitude of problems, including someone having a headache. It can make them feel like they're going to pass out, and if they're exposed long enough, it can affect their heart so much that their heart stops beating.
Besides making sure your home is armed with carbon monoxide detectors, health experts say it's critical you have a professional check your heating systems, as well as gas, oil, and coal-burning devices every year. The CDC also recommends never having a car or generator run inside a closed garage or less than 20 feet away from an open window.
So the treatment of carbon monoxide poisoning is oxygen, And so someone will be started on 100% oxygen. And what we're trying to do there is displace the carbon monoxide that is in the body and let the body get rid of it.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
A family in Raleigh, North Carolina survives after a tree crushes their car on the highway. After a tree crushed that car, that happened on Saturday when the family was on their way to Virginia. Star Smith was in that car with her mother, 15-year-old sister, and 8-year-old son.
I definitely believe God was protecting us. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like, I literally, when it happened, I thought I was going to open my eyes and I was going to be in heaven, because I literally thought I died.
Smith says she saw the tree falling and told her mother, who tried to avoid the tree but couldn't do so in time. Smith's mom had some injuries, including a fractured spine, but she's expected to be okay. As Hawaii moves into a new phase of its recovery effort, a greater emphasis is now being put on housing and construction. Fox's Jeff Paul has more.
Hawaii Governor Josh Green led a moment of silence for the victims of the Maui wildfires before briefing Hawaiians on how he plans to move the recovery effort forward. In his annual State of the State address, Green promised to be more aggressive in rebuilding burned-out areas of Lahaina. He's also making a big push to shift more vacation rentals to shelter about 5,000 still left homeless since the fires. But the most significant change was his proposal to charge a vacation tax to out-of-state visitors.
We're trying to raise revenues, and we're also trying to curb the sheer number of people that travel to Hawaii. So when people say, maybe 1% fewer people will come because they hear there's a new fee, that's okay.
Governor Green is also calling for more help from the federal government, while private aid groups continue to step up. Actor Dwayne Johnson told Fox News on Wednesday he's helped distribute more than $60 million to 8,000 victims through his work with the People's Fund of Maui.
Those are our people, just as Americans, and the tragedy that they went through is unimaginable, and as you know, we know, and the world knows, they're still going through it.
Green's address came just a few days after officials and residents came together to mark the start of the Lahaina rebuilding phase. Folks there are vowing to get life back to normal.
The people of Lahaina, we know how to sail through a storm. This is living proof. We're still here.
Hawaii's governor is also proposing charging visitors a $25 climate impact fee in addition to the tourism tax. In Los Angeles, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
All right, and back here at home, we're looking ahead for our 5-day forecast. Stay tuned.
All right, get ready, folks. We are looking at a wind stream mix in the area, but a little bit more accumulative snowfall is on the way. When does that arrive and how much snow can we get? I'll have all the answers coming up.
Maine Commercial Solar offers a variety of services including solar systems design, sales, maintenance, and installation. Maine Commercial Solar can help you with existing or new systems. We offer packages for installation by others, or we can help you build your own solar array, smaller residential or anything in between. Maine Commercial Solar is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions. We offer competitive pay, a 3% IRA match, vacation, holiday time, and a family-oriented environment. If interested, please call Jason at 848-7486.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman. It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Cormier's Bus Service, Healing Hands Massage, Jackson's Automotive, Scott's Recreation, Silver Fox Automotive, and Tilton's Auction.
Who are you?
I'm no one.
Stop lying!
I'm just the cleaning lady.
The Cleaning Lady premieres Tuesday, March 5th on Fox.
All right, our main weather this evening is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studios and Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. Oh boy, what is this? Well, these are some winter weather advisories that are in effect till around 6 a.m. on Thursday. This is all over the state. Besides up north, all the way by Caribou, that's pretty much that cutoff where they do not have any winter weather advisories. But take a look at this. Millinocket area, Greenville, we got here in town, right by the coast as well. Bar Harbor, Rockland, Machias, all under winter weather advisories for all of this wintry precipitation. Not really snow, mainly that mix of rain, snow, sleet, a little bit of freezing rain as well. Look at all this moisture down south. Thunderstorms, and that moisture, that's going to continue to work its way up north the next couple of days, but it will be a little bit warmer, so we're not talking several inches of snow tonight. We're not doing that tonight. We're going to be under a wintry mix, starting out with some snow, and then really transitioning into that freezing rain, that sleet, into those overnight hours. We're talking 1, 2 a.m. overnight tonight by the coast, mainly rain. So if you are a snow lover, not the best news for you. You got to go well up north of Millinocket area to pretty much be all into some snow showers overnight tonight into those early morning hours tomorrow. Then throughout those afternoon hours, we're actually going to see some peaks of sunshine. It's not going to be too bad. Once again, another second round starts to move back into the region by Friday. This time around, though, a little bit more cooler air, definitely going to help out making that rain into snow. So we are expecting more snow here in town. Maybe even several inches of snowfall will be possible in Bangor. But for tonight into tomorrow morning, this is what we're looking at. Just a trace here in town, and then it's going to be that wintry mess. It's going to be very slippery outside by tomorrow morning. Please make sure you take that extra time leaving, going to work, to school, anything you got going on. Please be careful. It will be slick. More snow up north. This is north of Millinocket area. That's where we're expecting a little bit more than an inch of snow, and possibly maybe even 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of snow incoming by Friday. We'll keep an eye on things for you folks. Temperature-wise, though, 22 degrees here in town, 27 in Bar Harbor earlier today. Look at Rockland, 31 degrees. Up north, though, oh yeah, definitely a lot cooler. Millinocket, 20, Greenville at 16. We had that below average trend, below average temperatures, of course, continuing. The last couple of days, though, we did see those mid-30s outside, so that is, of course, well above average. And we're going to continue to stay mainly above average. Monday to Tuesday, we're going to see a little bit more of that cooler air rolling in. But then just like that, it's going to disappear, and that warmer air will make its way up north once again. So we are looking at 30s making a return. For tonight, though, be careful out there, folks. Rising temperatures, that wintry mix in the area, it is going to be a mess by tomorrow morning. It's going to all melt away, though. Temperatures back in those low to mid-40s tomorrow. Even some peaks of sunshine. That will help out for sure. Our extended forecast outlook does show that steadier, more accumulative snowfall by Friday. We'll keep an eye on things. Several inches of snowfall is possible. Then we stay above average. By Monday, really cold air starts to make a return. Temperatures back in the teens.
All right, we'll definitely stay tracking that snowfall as it approaches. Thanks, Conrad. And we have sports coming right up next. Stay with us.
PDQ Door presents CHI Doors. CHI Doors are tough, dependable, engineered for fit and function. CHI Doors from PDQ Door, Hamden, Rockport, Bath, Waterville, Holton, Presque Isle, and PDQDoor.com.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
Hello, fellow flyers. I'm the Savvy Traveler, here to share the secrets of convenience at Bangor International Airport. Parking you're steps away from the terminal. Inside, even more conveniences and friendly, efficient security. All of these make BGR the official airport of you. Remember, the savvy travel through Bangor International Airport. FlyBangor.com.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Always standing ready to answer the call to service. Service your garage door. PDQ Door. PDQDoor.com.
Sharpen your knives. We are back.
Let's go. This season, you'll have to earn your place on one of our teams.
Are you ready? Next Level Chef returns January 28th on Fox.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with some basketball. Both Maine men's and women's hoops back in action Thursday and taking on the Great Danes from Albany. Starting with men's hoops, they're coming off their first conference win of the year and looking to keep it going. The Black Bears played 3 really close games to start America East play. They held a second-half lead against Vermont, but fell to them before dropping 2 5-point games to New Hampshire and UMBC. But over the weekend, Maine was able to get over the hump. They took down NJIT on the road, despite the Highlanders making a run at the end. And their execution in crunch time is what made the difference.
Our focus has been just to continue to learn through those little patches in games that have cost us. I thought against NJIT, we kind of led start to finish, had an 11-point lead. They made a run at us again, similar to some of those other leads that we lost in the second half. But we made some big-time plays down the stretch, defensively and offensively, that kind of put that game away.
Prior to conference play, Maine had their best non-conference schedule in a long time, but they know the most important games are the 16 they play against the rest of America East. And right now, while they're looking to build on that win the rest of the way, they know Rome wasn't built in a day.
Build off last week. Come in to practice with the intention to get better individually and as a team, and over time, that'll add up. So, when it's time in a conference tournament, we'll be at our best.
Our focus is game to game, just getting better game to game, and I think we made strides each game. Hadn't been able to really put a full 40 together on both sides of the ball. We definitely took steps towards that against NJIT, and we're looking to do the same thing against a really talented group tomorrow night against Albany.
Moving on to the women's squad now, the Black Bears are 5-0 in conference, their best start in 20 years, and have the conference's top scoring offense and defense. They're on the road against Albany, and both teams sit at the top of America East. The always tough Great Danes are also 5-0 and are number 2 in those categories. In Maine's win Saturday over NJIT, they allowed just 39 points, and they say that defense will be key in shutting down the best crop of shooters in the league.
What is going to help us is the defense that we took from that game against NJIT, just making sure we bring it again on Thursday, and that's what at the end will help us get the win.
We know we're going to get a battle every time we play. We just got to play great defense. I mean, I think we're pretty good too, so they got to defend us and we got to defend them. I think it'll be a great game.
A win over the Great Danes gives the Black Bears sole possession of first place for now and seemingly a bunch of momentum as the season rolls on. But the Black Bears aren't thinking far down the line, especially not into March just yet. And their one-game-at-a-time approach is working for them so far, so why stop now?
For sure, we really would like to go out of that game with a win. But I mean, we have to go into every game, and every game, no matter what team we play against, it counts as much in the big scheme.
Oh God, we don't even. That's a long way away. I mean, we have one game at a time. It doesn't matter if we win Thursday and lose Saturday. Thursday means nothing. So that's the last thing on our mind.
We'll see how things go. We'll bring you highlights of both those games. Now let's go to some high school basketball. The top team in a stacked Girls C North Mattinock Academy hosting Orono on Wednesday night. The Lynx trying to bounce back from their loss on Monday to Dexter. Let's start things off in the first quarter. Off a rebound, it's the Lynx's Addison Sear. She throws it down to Megan House, who takes it to the house. Shout out to our intern Connor for that one, for 2. Then, speaking of House, here's her sister Lauren for 3 off the pass from Sear. and it'll go down nothing but net. Later on, Orono's Emma LaBelle with it. She's going to shoot a rocket down the floor to Abigail Haney, who puts it up and in off glass. Finally, some more transition points for MA. It's Sear to Juliana Klauke. And a sweet bounce pass to a cutting Lily Watton. She goes around the D for the lay-in. Lynx up big after one. They win 73-24. Okay, let's do that hockey now. John Bapst looking to grab a victory over Bangor at Sawyer Arena. First period, Rams with it. Michael Moscone goes for the wraparound, but Caden Kinney is there for the stop. In the second now, big hit from Bapst here, but Bangor gets the shot off with some traffic, but Kinney there again to save it. Rams offense would keep coming from behind the net. Kinney makes a save, rebound, and another save. Eventually he falls on it to keep things scoreless. Let's not forget Cody McHugh for the Rams too. Will Bourgeois with a breakaway chance here, but McHugh makes the stop and falls on it to prevent any further damage. Both goalies outstanding, but Bapst is going to win the defensive battle. 2-1 is your final in this one. Okay, back to basketball now. February is fast approaching, and so is the Maine High School basketball tournament. And this season so far has been an interesting one. There's been recent talk and concern this year, especially recently, revolving around blowout wins and what can be done to alleviate those or even prevent them. One being the potential of a mercy rule. Maine does not have one in place. However, according to the National Federation of High School Associations, at least 28 other states around the country currently do. Both Jeff Benson, the MPA's Commissioner of Officials and Maranicook coach and liaison to the MPA, Travis Magnuson, gave some insight on how Maine could approach this.
I know I did a little bit of research. Iowa has a point differential of 35 in basketball, and that will begin in the second half. Now, if that point differential slips below 35, they go back to stop time.
The MPA and the state has done a great job, opening up schedules and conferences. And I think we just need to look at, before a season starts, the best team shouldn't have to play the weakest team. And you certainly shouldn't have to play each other twice. I think there's enough crossover opportunities that you could do that.
Certainly a hot button issue, especially this time of year. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
There was no salt or sand.
And because of that, I slipped and fell.
When snow or ice isn't removed, you need a powerful law firm to go after every dollar you may deserve.
I needed to protect my rights.
Cases like this require resources and experience.
Over 25,000 victories for injured Mainers and more than $500 million collected for Maine families.
I never thought I'd get that much.
The law offices of Joe Bornstein. Maine lawyers working for Maine people.
Do you need to replace your old, worn-out windows? Then you need to call Renewal by Andersen today. We're the replacement window division of Andersen, which means you can get your project started right away by scheduling a free in-home consultation. Ask your consultant about pricing options, including our 1-year price lock guarantee quote. Call now to schedule your free design consultation. This fantastic money-saving deal with great financing ends soon. Installation is always included. Call now.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50%, and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Did you know that it's possible to prevent colorectal cancer with regular screening?
I almost skipped my colonoscopy because I had something more important to do. But my friend said, you've got to go.
Today, you have options for colon cancer screening. Ask your provider which test is right for you.
I was lucky. They caught my cancer early enough to treat it successfully.
If you're 50 or older, Ask your provider about colon cancer screening or visit screenmaine.org.
The XFL and the United States Football League have announced plans to merge.
Let's fall out, baby! The United Football League kicks off March 30th.
Welcome back. Plans for the country's tallest building are in the works. The boardwalk at Bricktown Tower is expected to be built in Oklahoma City. The structure is designed with 3 towers reaching more than 300 feet in the air, while the 4th is planned to take on the massive feat of becoming the nation's tallest building at 1,907 feet tall. The space is described as a mixed-use project with residential units, hotels, condos, commercial, and community space. That project is currently awaiting approval. If approved, the building will be the 5th tallest building in the entire world. Right now, the tallest building in the U.S. is New York's Freedom Tower at a symbolic 1,776 feet. A Michigan Amish family's horse and buggy was stolen from outside a Walmart when they shopped in the store. Sturgis Department of Public Safety says the family was inside when the suspect made off with their transportation. Police say that a woman was seen stealing the horse and buggy. Both were later found and returned to the family that same day. Authorities arrested the 31-year-old woman at a motel nearby. The unidentified woman was booked at St. Joseph County Jail on charges of larceny and larceny of livestock. You don't hear that one too often. And she is pending arraignment. According to the U.S. Census, as of 2023, Michigan was home to 18,000 Amish people. Finally tonight, a recent blast of cold weather in the South has given alligators a chance to show off their unique survival skills. The Swamp Park Outdoor Adventure Center in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina, posted these eerie videos on social media on Sunday showing alligators suspended in frozen ponds with just the tips of their snouts peeking above the ice. The cold-blooded animals can't regulate their own temperature, so when temperatures drop, they go into a state called brumation to survive. Those alligators can protect themselves by sticking their noses up out of the water so they can still breathe while the water freezes around them. Just bizarre stuff. It's kind of silly to see just their nostrils sticking out. You'd think like maybe their whole heads would be out, but no, I guess not. All right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your evening.